What's good, man? Yo. Shouts out to everybody in the chat already. I'm trying to see if this is working now. Hopefully it is. If you're in the chat, type something. Maybe it'll pop up. Maybe I'll see it. Let's see. Oh, there it is right there. Hey. Let's see. Yo, what's good, y'all? I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. Y'all let me know if the chat looks good. If the chat looks good or not. It's in a good spot. Man, so I truthfully I was supposed to stream this weekend, but it's cool. I feel good just getting this out and talking a little bit. I sound robotic. Hang on a second. Hang on a second, guys. Okay, what about now? How does it sound? Does it sound better? You said audio's good now. Let me know how I sound. Okay, we're good. If we're not good, let me know so that I can adjust this and make it better. Let's see. Let me try something else. Okay, let's see. Testing. Yeah, y'all let me know how I sound. Audio is good, but it's low. Jesus, y'all are killing me. Hello. It's still low? Is it still low? What about now? Is it better now? They said, bro, sound like he across the street. That's crazy. Okay, what about now? Is that better? Okay, it's good now. All right, good. No, I'm not streaming from the toilet. Why you ask that? Because I'm the shit. Um, so listen, right? The last chapter was pretty damn good. Okay, it's pretty funny as well. Um, it's very hard not to put rocks at or not to like be a fan of rocks. Rocks is so likable, and I like how Oda is giving us like elements of his backstory and elements of his character through the eyes of King Harold. I really am enjoying this. This is probably so. I think I think it's safe to say, right, um, that people probably were expecting the best One Piece backstory to be in Wano, or like one of the best, right? And I don't think that we quite got there. I think this backstory right here, just because of like the scope of it, the scale of it, this is going to be probably one of the best backstories in One Piece once this flashback is done. This is beautiful. Or this is going to be one of the best flashbacks in One Piece. I don't think the Odin flashback really lived up to like the expectations or like what people were expecting out of it. Um, I'm so here. Actually, let's backtrack. Let's bring it all the way back. Bring it back. Bring it back. I'm in Discord right now, and I've been talking to some people. So I'm probably gonna undeafen in Discord, and we'll be in there, chopping it up, talking some shit. Um, Not anything crazy. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it tame. I'm gonna keep it very tame. Please understand. Let's see. I can't do that. I want to put it on screen. I guess I can. Yes, the boy is live. Yo, Matt B still streaming. Haven't been in the community in a minute. Popped up on my homepage. Hey, that's what's up, bruh. Vince Smoke Romeo is crazy. What's good, East Blue Drew? I appreciate all y'all pulling up. Everybody that's here, everybody that hasn't been here. So the end of the chapter, right? Or let me see. I don't know if I'm gonna show some some tweets on stream. I might show some tweets and get a little laughs going on. There's so much that I want to talk about. There's so many things that I really want to talk about right now. Did y'all see that video? Right. So we'll talk about the Snitch Olympics a little bit. I'm gonna talk about some One Piece. Well, I just want to ask y'all, or there's something that's really just been on my heart, or my mind after I saw it today, and it triggered the fuck out of me because stuff like this used to happen. I've been in situations literally like this one that I saw, and it really pissed me off, man. It really made me upset. And I know there's a lot of young men that watch me. There's some guys my age as well. And I just want to be a voice, and I just want to talk to y'all about these things, man, because this shit is trifling, bro. It's really fucking trifling. So I'm gonna pull the video up real quick, and I'm gonna post it, or I'm gonna show it so we can watch it together like a family. see. Yeah, exactly, Drew. Exactly. The baby mama drama, man. That shit crazy, bro. Uh, so listen, right? Before I play this fucking video, before I get to it, I'm gonna tell everybody out there, all the guys, okay? Um, the most important decision in your life, the most important decision in your life is choosing the woman that's gonna have your kids. Okay? I truly believe that. Like choosing the woman that's gonna have your kids, choosing your partner. Okay. Um, I think for me, I really was I was just wilding. I was just chasing pussy. Okay, so I was really just having fun and or not having fun. I was being fucking stupid, truthfully. Like I thought it was like a competition to like now I don't have like a crazy amount of bodies, but I have way more bodies than what I wanted than what I wanted, right? Um than what I should have, right? Uh I thought it was a fucking like oh yeah, I just got some pussy. I just got some pussy. Like I thought it was just the best thing that you could do as a man, right? And that was thinking like a little boy. Okay. So that led me to having a child, right? When I was like 20 years old. 20 years old, bro. It's crazy, right? So I say, like, bro, worry about you, chase after the shit that you want to chase after, do the things that you want to do, and like a kid will be there. A kid will, it'll be there. But like having a kid and then having a kid with the wrong person at a young age is like oh man, it's such a double whammy. It's a double whammy. Okay, this right here, this video, these people don't worry about money. They don't have to worry about money. Money's not an issue to them right now, or as it seems, right? So I'm gonna play this, and we're gonna listen to this, and then I'm gonna keep on talking. Okay. So let's see here. I want it right there. Yeah, I want it right here. I should probably change the title of this damn, or not change the title, but everybody, I'm really just spitballing right now. I'm talking about everything. Uh, so please forgive me. Let's see. All right. That's not okay. I'm just letting you know. Okay, so he's picking up his son. He's picking up his son. Y'all can read it, but PJ Washington, that's a NBA player, and his wife, whatever her name is, got into an altercation with Brittany Renner, a social media personality, and her mother during an exchange. Okay, in exchange for their child, right? So the kid is visibly crying. He's upset. And this is common, right? This is like you see, he's not even he's not even worried about this. Her recording this is insane. And then the fat bitch behind the camera need to shut the fuck up. It's up with me in front of your child, bro. What are we doing? What the hell are we talking about?
Suck my dick. If you had one, maybe I would.
Hello?
Yeah, what the fuck you looking at?
If you had one, I would, nigga. Is this camera on me? $170,000 to your hoe and $11,000 in your son's bank account. My brother, listen, lady. Why does it matter? Why does any of that matter? What 2-year-old? I'm guessing this boy is 2-3 years old, right? Maybe 2. Okay, what 2-year-old has $11,000? Like, what are we really fucking talking about here? $170,000 to your hoe and $11,000 in your son's bank account. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? Bro, I think this nigga's married, or he's about to get married to this woman. That's who you're talking. That's how you're talking to your grandson's stepmother. Okay, so I'm glad we saw that, right? I just had the fucking chapter on stream, so I'm glad that we saw that, right? Now let me get out of it. Let me get out of here before I get some fucking copyrighted shit. Okay. So now look, right? I'll tell you about my shit, okay? So the kid's crying during the exchange. Okay. Now, what used to happen, okay, with me is my daughter would cry whenever she would leave her mom's mother, so her grandmother, right? Or she would and kids are smart, okay? So if rules are different in one place, then the kid's probably not going to want to go there. Right. But the thing is that whenever she would come in, whenever she would come to my house, whenever she would come to my house, whenever she would get inside and she would sit down and everything, she would calm down in like 5 minutes. OK, so I remember taking her to daycare. Right. And she would cry when I dropped her off. And then whenever I come back to pick her up, and this was whenever she first started to go to daycare, then she would cry when I picked her up, or the children's church, or taking your kids to the gym, something like that. Right. So did I think that they were doing something to my child? No, I understand that there's such a thing as separation anxiety, and kids don't like to be away from their parents or away from people who they're not as familiar with. Or if the choice is between my dad or between me and then a stranger, obviously my child is going to be like, no, daddy, no. And then, but then if it's between the mom and my youngest daughter, if it's between me and her mom, oh, well, I mean, it depends on the day, but most times she'll be like, oh no, mommy, right? Went shopping yesterday, or we were just out, or a couple of days ago, and my daughter's, so my girl, she gets out the car, right? Gets out of the car, and then my daughter starts screaming, crying because she wants her mommy. And her mommy just went inside of the store. She's going to be back out in less than 10 minutes. So calm down, little baby. It's okay. And it's like, nah, it's not okay. Because where the hell did my mommy go? So I say all of that to say, right? My first child's mother, what she would do is she would say, oh, she's crying, so I'm not going to bring her. Okay. Now, as I said, I'm young at this point. I'm thinking oh, well, shit, she got a point, or blah, 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 blah. Listen, my brothers, if you have a child, and I know that this may not sound, or you may frown at this and be like, bro, what the fuck? Because this is what I did Put yourself, or like whenever I would hear people say it to me, I'd be like, bro, why the fuck would I do that? Put yourself on child support. Put yourself on child support because it gives you rights. So as you can see right here in this situation, they have a custody agreement. He has rights established for his child. So therefore, there are set possession schedules. There are set possession times that the child is exchanged depending upon your custody agreement. So let's say you have joint custody, or let's say you have full custody, right? Let's say you have full custody. Okay. One of the parents is going to have the child on majority days, okay? And then hey, Brasi, I was saying I wanted to talk about some shit. I saw some shit on on Twitter about Brittany Renner. And it really just made me want to talk about it because it triggered the fuck out of me. I understand if you, I understand if you go. We're not gonna be here forever. We're gonna, go to One Piece eventually. But anyhow, so put yourself on child support, gentlemen, and that way, whenever some bullshit go, or there's no way that anyone can deny you your rights. Okay. There's no way anyone can deny you your rights. So anyhow, be careful who you have kids with. So yeah, it is grown folk time. What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody in the chat? Appreciate y'all pulling up. I do want to talk about some One Piece, but I might jump back and forth like that because, it is what it is. Let's see. What's good? Let me see what these niggas is talking about in Discord.
He wants to go out, hang out. Let's go do some stuff, right? Go out. But once he does it, he be just laying there, bro. He's like, let's just stay here, buddy. He's like, I gotta go. It's not for him.
It's not for. What's wrong with staying inside?
My point is, if he had like a plan or a goal to do something, and he
makes him unproductive
from doing it, and is making him.
I don't know what they're talking about, but what we just were talking about was Blackbeard being the final villain. Okay, I'm gonna keep pushing that narrative home because I truly believe that Blackbeard is the final villain. Fight me about it, like truthfully. Yo, be easy, Brasi. I don't know where people's head is at on that, but I definitely think that Blackbeard is gonna be the final villain. I think Blackbeard is I think they're building him up to be that guy. Like, I know Emu has done his shit, Emu has done things, but I think Blackbeard is definitely more than definitely doing some heinous things. And then the way that they're just building up Zebek, like, oh, bro, this is beautiful. Like, and I mean from the sense of like what they're having Zebek do. Like, I wonder if Zebek's gonna have. I wonder if Zebek knows about the poneglyphs and all of that. Like, I need to see. Like, we got to see something as far as that. I'm always intrigued by characters that want to seek out the poneglyphs or are intrigued by the poneglyphs. Because it just adds a little bit of depth to them. And then it like adds some level of consciousness and awareness, I feel. Zebek flashback has me thinking he is coming to Elbath. Well, I 100% think that Zebek is gone. Zebek is dead. Oh, my bad, bro. My bad, John. This was really like spur of the moment. I really didn't even like plan to stream tonight. I knew I missed streaming this weekend and streaming about the chapter like last week. So I know we aren't on break this week, so I just wanted to get something off, just I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming, but I just wanted to talk for a little bit and just get something out there. And then I wanted to test this on, test some things out on the stream. I finally got this fucking chat to do what I wanted to do. So that's good. But anyways, I'm sorry that I'm streaming so late. I hope you forgive me. Blackbeard coming to Elbath to steal Loki's fruit or have him join him like his dad did. Do you think Blackbeard has a chance to be Oda's best written villain? I think Blackbeard for sure does. For sure. Like, Oda could go so many different ways and, tie in so many different things with Blackbeard. It's really just up to him. We're gonna see what Oda wants to do. I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Vince Beast Diata. Do you know that is Matt? I'm doing a little bit of so listen, I haven't trained for MMA in a minute, right? But it's definitely still something that intrigues me. I'm not like sparring and doing all of that like I used to. Yeah, life is just life, and I'm not even in the same area that I was in. The gym that I was going to is probably about a hour away from me, at least. During traffic, probably longer than that. I don't even think that Blackbeard's gonna liberate the world from Emu, or maybe he liberates the world from Emu by killing him, but then Blackbeard is gonna become that same kind of. Yeah, I watched the UFC. The last pay-per-view that I watched, there were 2 back spinning elbows, like nasty ones that were knockouts. That was at the last event, the Chimaev versus what is that guy, DDP, the South American? I don't like that guy. I don't like him in one bit. I didn't agree with the way that fight was, though. Like, I understand that my man Chimaev is great on the ground, but the way I didn't like that domination of the fight, because like he really didn't do much. he controlled him and he overpowered him on the ground. But he didn't. It didn't seem like he was going for a finish. It did not seem like he was going for a finish. And I feel like if you're gonna dominate a fight, then dominate the fight all the way. Like if John Jones just took what's that guy's name? Tom Aspinall. If he just took him down and like didn't submit him and just did what Chimaev did, bro, people would probably riot. Bro, you would never hear the end of you would never hear the end of that. Like, people wouldn't be talking about, oh, it's a dominant performance. They wouldn't be talking like that. Because they would expect for John Jones to be a champion, right? And for him to finish the fight and rise to the occasion. Chimaev won. He won the fight. He dominated the fight. He took him to the ground. He overpowered him. But I do not think that was... I wouldn't want to win a championship belt like that. I would want to show a total display. So the way that he was dominating, right, on the ground, I would have let him get up. And I would have tried to dominate him on, like, with the stand up too. Or I just would have, like, gone, like, if you're dominating like that and if your ground game is that good, then you should always be able to fall back on your ground game if you get into a tricky situation. So to make a statement, I would have gotten up. I would have stood up as well after dominating him on the ground, and I would have finished him like that. And so you dominate them on the feet, or you dominate them on the stand up, or you go even with them on the stand up, and then you take, you dominate them on the ground. Like, yeah, a win is a win. A win is a win, right? But listen to me. Listen to the example that I gave. John Jones and Tom Aspinall, that's the fight, right? That's the fight. Okay, people want to see how great John Jones is because John Jones should be able to beat Tom Aspinall because he's that great, right? But if John Jones just took Tom Aspinall to the ground, okay, and did not finish the fight, did not submit him, did not do ground and pound for a TKO or a KO, okay, people would talk dirty about John Jones. And they would say how he's not the GOAT and he doesn't have a champion's heart, blah, 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 because he didn't finish the fight or tried to. It didn't look like Chimaev was trying to necessarily finish the fight. It looked like he was trying to dominate the fight enough so that he could win the championship by decision. So almost like in the same thing that like Mayweather would do, right? How Mayweather at the end of his career, he just fought more smarter. He fought way more smart, right? And he didn't really have the knockout power that he once had in his youth. So he had to rely solely on his instincts, his reaction time, how smart he was, so on and so forth, and his defense, right? Mayweather was winning fights in boxing, but he wasn't finishing fights. So he would do enough in the fight to win by decision, guaranteed. Every single time that Mayweather's not going to get knocked out and his defense is impeccable and he still has enough offense to win a fight, to win a round. Yeah, the Aspinall versus Jones probably isn't going to happen.
Well, I think Braun is a lot different than what we're talking about right here. Like Braun is like it's hard to compare a team sport and Braun like LeBron to an MMA fighter. Like Braun, I think Braun is great, right? But there are some things that like, I kind of like look at and I raise my eyebrows at that. But there's also like, okay, so I know we don't want to celebrate losing, right? But like in 2007 when Braun took the Spurs, or when Braun went to the Spurs, went against the Spurs in the finals and lost, got swept, right? I can't remember how old he was, 22, 23, something like that. Like we're not giving any like type of nods to that. Like, I say context is everything, so we got to factor in all of this stuff. I think that is very, very impressive, and that should be like almost like. So look, he lost, right? He lost. But should he have even been there in the first place is my question. Let's see.
To collect the home because I know it's happened both
Yeah.
ways where they're forgotten to collect it and they collect it the next day. So I'll be like, oh, they're probably just gonna collect it the next day. But I remember that little tag. He was just like, yeah.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. That's crazy. I am muted my shit and that's what I get. That's crazy. Yeah, I think Braun and AI should get a lot of credit for taking those teams that they took to the finals. I do. Some people disagree with that, and that's fine. But I think I think you have to contextualize everything, right? So some rings are more valuable than others, I think. Like, I think one of the best rings ever is Dirk's ring. I think another really, really good ring was Hakeem. And truthfully, both of Hakeem's. But I say 94. Like I think you definitely have to contextualize wins. You gotta like add you gotta you can't just say, oh, LeBron is whatever he is in the finals, 4-6, right? You can't just say, oh yeah, like 4-6, he sucks. I don't think that that's the case, man. Like you got to look at the whole overall like picture. The man is 3-time Finals MVP. Listen here too, right? Listen here. Here's another thing. This is one of the things that I don't like about like the narrative around Bron and like the narratives that they paint, right? So for instance, okay, let's take the first unanimous MVP thing. In 2013, there was only one person, that voted for another player. Okay? Whenever Bron won the MVP in 2013. Okay? There was one person that voted for Carmelo Anthony. Now, I respect the hell out of Melo. I love Melo, but Melo was not an MVP of the league. Like, that is fucking insane. Like, insanity. Okay? Also, this is a One Piece stream, but I'm jumping all around. I'm literally jumping all around. The last thing, okay, and about this LeBron shit is, bro, in 2013, he should have won Defensive Player of the Year as well, right? So, like, whenever Giannis won Defensive Player of the Year, MVP in the same year, I think, and then Finals MVP, it was like, oh, he's one of the only three men to do it. I think it's Bron, or I think it's Jordan, Hakeem, and Giannis. Well, brother, it should have been Bron. It should have been Bron, because Bron should have won Defensive Player of the Year that year. How does Marc Gasol win Defensive Player of the Year that year, and Marc Gasol is on second team all defense, and Bron is the one that's on first team all defense? Don't you think that your Defensive Player of the Year would be on first team all defense? I would think so. I would think so. Truthfully. Like, when you really think about that, that sounds insane. So, like, and that's what I'm saying. You got to contextualize things, right? I think for Kobe should definitely have more MVPs, and Kobe had the Chris Paul trade vetoed, or they vetoed the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers. If Kobe would have got Chris Paul, Kobe probably would have won like 6 rings. So I remember Bron not locking up D Rose, but I remember Bron taking on that defensive assignment. That's a fact. Bron was definitely guarding D Rose in like 2013 when he was on Miami, for sure. I think in certain possessions he would take on that challenge. I'm not mad at putting Kobe over Bron. I like Kobe's game better than Bron's game for sure. It's definitely better to watch. It's more pleasing to watch. I think Kobe's like use of the mid range is crazy. I realized that Bron is not like a good mid range shooter at all. Yeah, if Chris Paul even wins 2 rings, Chris Paul is bare minimum. If Chris Paul wins 2 rings, Chris Paul is bare minimum top 5 point guard all time. If I dare say, if Chris Paul beat the Warriors and with James Harden when they were on the Rockets, that's commendable. That might even put him in top 5. Like, I mean, who we got as the top 5 point guards? We got Magic. I say Steph. Jason Kidd. Well, nah, I'll probably say so. Steph, Magic, Isaiah Thomas, Jason Kidd, and I want to say Stockton. But I guess Oscar Robinson is a point guard. Magic, Steph, Isaiah, Oscar. And then I guess okay, you got CP3 over Jason Kidd. Basiru Kankani said, Matt, I was asking, do you know why there's no Reverie this year? My brother, why are you asking me these questions? Am I the spokesperson of the Reverie? Do you think that I'm in tune like that? Do you think that I'm behind the scenes like that in the YouTube verse? Listen, brother. I am a mere up and comer. Okay, I'm on Sabaody trying to figure out how to get into the fucking new world. Okay, I don't have the brass like that. I don't know what's going on. Why would you think that I know what's going on? Joshua Tucker, why do you think that I even know what happened to the Grove? Like, listen, right? This is what I'll tell you. Okay, this is just my perspective. Okay, so you take this how you take it. You take it with a grain of salt, and we'll just keep it going. Okay, so whenever the Reverie was first starting out, right? It was like a fucking huge thing. Okay, we have always tried to do things together and collab throughout the years, but it was never something like that, and it was never all like. So sometimes it would be for the sake of One Piece. Like, we would collab with other people and we would get all these people into a group discussion and we'd end up talking about One Piece, right? Well, I don't know. It was the way that this happened, the way that the Reverie happened. It just like it was a big thing. Okay, so when you start to do it over and over and over again, and you don't know how to separate the time in between them to make the next one, or to make them mean something, they'll lose their value. Okay? And I think that's what happened. I think that I think that they lost their value, and then I also think that Wano may have soured a couple of people's opinions on One Piece, and that kind of trickled down all throughout the community. Because One Piece or Wano is one of the arcs in One Piece that I've talked to people and like new people too to One Piece, right? And they're like, oh man, like there were some things, blah 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 blah, that I didn't like, and there was some like, but I like this, I like it's kind of like with the Oda's Angels and such. People really were hesitant to talk about One Piece in a negative way because they would get attacked in the groves, and it's crazy to see this all evolve, right? Because I remember when you first got on YouTube, and when you were talking about like the big three, talking about Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. If you mentioned One Piece in the chat, people would laugh at you. People would tell you, get the fuck out of here. Like bro, delete your comment and get out of here. We don't want to talk about no damn One Piece. We're here to talk about Naruto. We want to talk about Bleach. We want to talk about these niggas fighting. We want to talk about this stuff right here. Okay? So One Piece started to gain traction. It started to gain more favor like around the time of Marineford. And then everything changed. Like once Marineford happened, bro, oh my goodness. It was insane. There were just One Piece fans popping up out of the ground like daisies. Like every single day, there's a new fan of One Piece, okay? And they're talking about Ace. They're talking about this and that and Marineford and how crazy it is. Whitebeard fucking died standing up. Blackbeard came in there. Now Blackbeard has 2 devil fruits. Oh my God. Yeah, bro. It like literally changed all because of that. So, when you talk about something so much, and then like I said, right, like this thing was a hot commodity. People got together, they joined together, and they talked about One Piece for hours and hours and hours on end. Okay? For hours and hours, right? That's very easy to oversaturate if you're not doing it right. You gotta have your, like, you gotta have the mixes in there. You got to know who you're appealing to. Everybody doesn't just want to fucking talk about the lore of One Piece. Everybody doesn't want to fucking talk about that. But then everybody doesn't always want a power scale either. But the best thing to do is to find a way to bridge the gap. So talk about lore, but also include a little bit of power scaling in that and make the conversations interesting. When you focus more so and you lean more so to one thing, and then like the people that are hosting it don't have enough oomph, then it starts to lose its value. It starts to get watered down. I think that's really the main thing. It's like the entertainment factor, because what I saw in the last Reverie was that people were saying that it was boring. That's what I was seeing. I was seeing people saying that it was boring. They were like, where are these people? Where's this guy? Where's this guy? Where's this guy? Where's this guy? And a lot of us just didn't join the Reverie this year, or whenever it was. I don't even remember when it was. But this is like I've had, and this is how I knew that it was kind of like fading all the way out. And like we got to find a way to restore it back. I think it's going to come back now because Elbath. I don't know who's going to host it, though. I don't know who's going to have the balls to say, I'm going to host the next Reverie. But I think Elbath is going to revive the Reverie. I think something crazy enough is going to happen to where everybody's going to be like, yo, y'all need to do a Reverie, because like this alone is going to just generate that discussion and get people wanting to talk about One Piece again. So when you're seeing, right, when you're like seeing that, or this is what I was gonna say. So, and for the last couple of Reveries, I was reading a comment. I have said, yeah, I'm not joining it. And then at some capacity, I get in there and I start talking about One Piece for a little bit, and I come in there and I say hi, and blah 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 blah. Well, this time I turned it on because I wanted to see who was in there. I looked at the Discord chat and I was like, who, like, not necessarily who are these people? Who are you people? It was just like I listened in and I just immediately like checked out, because it just wasn't an interesting conversation that was being had to me. And I started reading the comments, and I would just see, and or I would go away from the video, then I would come back to it, and see what people were saying, in the comment sections. Because, a lot of people have made their name in the Reverie. That's how some people have like gotten like a kickstart and like just taken off. So the Reverie can do really good things for you, because there's like, the Reverie is guaranteed 3,000 viewers, 4,000 viewers, and guaranteed at least $1,000. If you host the Reverie, you can fucking you can place a bet that you'll make $1,000 in that stream. When I seen that the Ghetto Reverie was getting more like attention and more like people saying that this was more entertaining than the actual Reverie, that's when I knew that there was a problem. And that's not a slight at Virgo. That is just saying that like the Ghetto Reverie was getting like praise all throughout it, and people were really talking about the Ghetto Reverie after that last Reverie, because that's how lackluster it was. Yeah, see, WWW, I don't think people feel that way. This is a battle shonen at the end of the day. This is a battle shonen manga. So no matter how much you think you want to talk about the lore, and no matter how much you think people are going to talk about the lore, that shit is going to get boring after a certain point. And what do you think people are going to fall back on? What are the main things that you see people arguing about are not elements of the One Piece world and how the world is structured and how the world is and the lore behind it. The people are talking about these fucking characters that they haven't seen fight yet, and so on and so forth. I wouldn't even call myself a power scaler. I don't think that, like, I think labeling yourself a power scaler or whatever the fuck it is like quite distasteful. I wouldn't consider myself a power scaler and I wouldn't consider the other guys like power scalers, because power scalers are like literally measuring the fucking mountains and the size of blast and so on and so forth. Like, they're talking about this is fucking Sanji was under 5,000 meters of water pressure like King did, right? Like, I consider King a power scaler, because King will get all like intricate and numbers like with you. And I'm like, look, King, I don't think it's like that. Like, King will sit up here. King will probably say that Blackbeard is a hard counter to Kizaru, because Blackbeard is dark, Kizaru is light, and Blackbeard would just absorb Kizaru. And I don't think that it would be like Blackbeard wouldn't just absorb Kizaru, because then where the fuck would Kizaru go? He would be like, where would he go? The reason I'm addicted to One Piece is not because of battle and power. I can just watch the UFC, but that's not like power scaling. Like, I don't know, man. If you don't like power scaling, that's cool. I understand. I'm not forcing you to like power scaling. If you don't like it, that's great. But I'm trying to tell you, there's 1,000 chapters of this fucking manga, and we still haven't seen some of the top tiers fight. That's fucking unacceptable. So, yeah, people are going to talk about people are going to talk about powers. People are going to talk about this stuff. because there's so much anticipation built up around a lot of these guys' strength. And people want to see it. Like that guy. That guy. Or, yeah, that guy. Right there. People want to see how strong he is. Okay? People want to see how strong he is. And I don't blame them. If people get into a these hypothetical situations and they want to talk about how strong these characters are or are not, I'm not mad at it. Hell yeah. Like, I mean, listen, bro, power scaling is always going to be around. It's always going to be something. Power scaling is like that just goes hand in hand with shonen battle manga. No, Christian, that is not the magic of One Piece. That is not magic. Purposely holding characters back. Now, listen, I say that it generates discussion. It's a great way to generate discussion and to get people talking and to get people to engage. But it should be a crime what Oda is doing. Okay? The story went for 1,000+ chapters, okay, for us to see a fight between top tiers on screen play out. Just think about that. Put that into perspective, okay? Oda will never give clear answers on power for this reason. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not tripping about that. I don't really care if Oda gives me, oh, this person is stronger than this person. This person is stronger than this person. What I am pointing out and what I am saying is that it is crazy that we have not seen a lot of these characters that we've been introduced to, that we've been knowing about, for 900+ chapters. We still haven't seen these characters go all out. We still haven't seen these characters do much of anything. That's a problem. That's a problem, and it can become a bigger problem because, like, yeah, it's gonna become a big problem if, like, we only get to see some of these characters fight one time and Oda makes us wait forever. I think it's pretty interesting about the name flip on Moria with the Kozuki. I wonder if that's why he was in Wano to begin with. But aside from that, I like the marks. I went back and looked at Thriller Bark. There was like some half moons on his chest. So that was pretty nice. That was pretty nice to see. I mean, I gotta see more. I gotta see, like, like if Mori is gonna be back in the story and Mori is gonna have like more of a prevalent role, we get to see him do something again. That'd be pretty cool. But I also don't care about Moria too much. No, that is not the problem. One Piece has always been that way. Hey man, if you don't feel like it's a problem, that's good, bro. That's good. Um, I think that is detrimental to the story for these characters not to fight and for Oda to sandbag these characters purposely. I don't think that's a positive thing to do. Truthfully. Moria was meant to pull up to Wano. You can't change my mind on that. Something happened in Act 2 where plans got tossed. I believe it. I believe it's a possibility. I believe it is a possibility. Would it be bad if I ended the stream right now? I don't think it would be. It's late as hell. I started the stream late. I didn't think people were gonna come in. I really didn't. I did not think people. I didn't think 50 people would be in here. I don't even know if I'm gonna leave this stream up. I just really wanted to come in here and talk some shit. Bro, Young Thug needs to stop. I'll say that. Young Thug definitely needs to stop. He needs to get his fucking shit together because he is tripping. He is quite literally crashing the fuck out, and it's actually very infuriating. It is sad to see what he's doing. How he's so fucking obsessed with talking about rats, rat this, rat that, rat this, rat that. That is, oh my God, it's so fucking frustrating. So, like hearing that nigga talk about that shit, and every single thing that he does, everything he says is, oh, he's a rat. Oh, this a rat. That's a rat. That's a rat. Look at that tail. That's a rat, bro. Yeah, that's crazy that he's doing that because he's getting exposed for actually being like a rat. Talking too much. Like, I don't know, man. I don't really like this whole snitching culture. This whole snitching culture is fucking stupid because they make up their own rules. Sometimes you can snitch, sometimes you can't. You can snitch on dead people. You can do this. You can do it's really all a bunch of bullshit. It's nasty. I'm not fucking sitting in jail behind nobody. I'm not. If we have a pact that we're gonna go do some shit, and we know that if we get caught, we can and there's no evidence. We just have to deny it. I would talk to my guys about this type of stuff. Hey, look, we're about to go pick this up, bro. If we get caught, we can all get in fucking trouble. But there's no way that they're going to be able to figure anything out if we don't say anything. Okay? So all we got to do is not say nothing. Yes, that is absolutely correct. Don't say shit. Nothing. Nothing. Right? And then we may be in jail for a year. We may be in jail for 2, but then they'll let us go if we don't speak. Or we'll be in jail for X amount of time. The thing that I always refer to and why I say fuck the rules on the street bullshit and all of this and all of that. They really not about it. When I started watching Sons of Anarchy, I started to see how these fucking biker gangs are. And these biker gangs are fucking crazy. They're nuts. but they operate on a said code, right? Like they vote on things. There's structure, there's organization, there's a leader, there is there's a system in place, and there are rules that even the leader has to follow. Okay. There was a biker gang in Texas, and there was some shit that popped off at a biker meet or something like that. And it was between these two gangs, and there were a couple people that even fucking died. So all of them got arrested. These rival gangs got arrested, and they were in the jails together. Okay. None of these guys said anything. None of these guys said anything, and they all got released. And some of them hated each other. Some of them despised one another. And they all got released because they didn't talk. So quite literally, all you have to do is not say shit. Find something to do to keep your mind busy. Not gossiping on the phone with your woman, with your lady. Work out. Find a way to burn the time off. Truthfully. But like the fact that this dude ain't dropping no music and he's just want to talk about rat this, rat like, bro, come on, bro. What the fuck are we doing, bro? Like the Young Thug is having one of the worst like post jail runs ever. This shit is fucking horrendous. But anyhow, I wanted to get that off my chest too. I'll speak about that more depending on what happens. But I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat who pulled up and who continues to support me. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for all of the donations. Thank you for any comment, whether it was negative or positive. I appreciate all of the support. I really do. So I'm going to be getting up out of here. I am going to be streaming later on this week, more than likely on Thursday night or Friday night. Just have to figure that out. It all depends on when the chapter comes out. So either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Be streaming. Probably Friday. Depending on when stuff drops. But anyhow, I'm getting up out of here. Y'all be easy. Appreciate y'all coming through. Holla at y'all, man.